Hey, I'm Zach from Gear Talk.
Talking Gear, and I'm Kenny. Thanks for joining us. Today we have special guest Zev Birnbaum from Chauvet DJ.
Hello, everyone.
And we are going to be covering the new Freedom Flex H9 IP X6 uplighting kit. So
the X6 is solely based on, you're getting 6 of them when you buy the package, of course, but we'll go over that in a little bit.
Totally. So Zev, completely new lineup of Freedom Pars in 2023 from Chauvet DJ. Maybe you can give us just a little primer. You know, we have some other videos, if you haven't watched on our channel, about the T6 and the Q9 and the H9, but here we're looking specifically at the Freedom Flex. What makes Flex different from the rest of these uplights that we've looked at?
So the big deal with the Flex series is on the bottom, you've got a removable battery. So you can take out that battery on the fly if you have a gig. Now the battery life on this is up to 12 hours, but if you have a 24-hour event, you can actually buy spare batteries, pop those out, pop in the other ones, and be up and running with no time.
Did you just take that out with it on?
Yeah, yep.
Oh, wow. So you don't have to power it down? You don't have to do any of that? They're completely hot swappable?
Absolutely. It'll come right back on its last setting, too.
Really?
Yeah.
So I don't even have to hit the power button. I can just yank the battery, pop the battery back in, and boom, I'm off and running.
Yep.
That is very slick, especially for those high-tier production clients, you know? Awesome.
And the other thing about the battery too is it's a zero maintenance thing down the road too. If you ever need a battery, and we do rate the batteries for 500 cycles of charge all the way up and all the way down. So depending how you use it, if you charge them and they use them halfway full and charge them back up, then you get more out of it. But eventually, you know, you might need to change out that battery. There's zero labor involved. It's literally pop in another battery.
I don't have to know how to unscrew a bunch of screws and then, you know, pull some wires out and you know, mess with any circuit boards or anything like that. So I like that about these Flexes a lot. There's like super low maintenance. Anyone, you know, whether you're a mobile entertainer that's on the go and doesn't want to have to do a bunch of maintenance, or, you know, you just shop time and labor and maintenance is expensive. So none of that with the Flexes here, which is pretty cool.
And if you use these often, you know, if you have them back-to-back events, you can have a spare set of batteries ready to go. Just pop in the new
Super
ones.
Smart. And speaking of battery life, actually, these have like a new smart battery in them I've heard about, right?
Yeah, so, you know, you can basically tell the battery how long your show is, right? So you can set it to 3 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, and then it will actually, in tune, make the light last that long at its highest brightness and maintain the same amount of brightness throughout the whole entire show. So if you have a really quick show and you want a lot of light, you set it to 3 hours, right? If you do have one of those long days that you have to do, you set it to 12 and it's going to be able to last the whole time, which is super
cool. Cool. Yeah.
Big time. And of course, like Zev was saying, right, here's what the battery looks like by itself. So in the case, which we'll show a little bit later, you can actually buy 6 extra batteries, have them loaded in the case, run your entire show, halfway through, have a little break, grab the battery, swap them out, throw those back in the case, and so you're never without battery life throughout the entire show.
Super sweet. Yeah. Little other physical tour of this fixture. It does appear that at least it's a little bit shorter and maybe a little bit smaller than the current generations of Freedom Flex, but I noticed down here on the bottom there's a full menu readout system, so that's a little bit different than, you know, the old Freedom Pars had a bunch of digits and red blinking lights and stuff on the front of them. This one, the menu was moved to the bottom and it's a full readout menu, so we can, you know, put a bunch of different text on here, and you know, I don't know if you're able to see on the camera, but it shows me the internal temperature and the amount of you know, wireless signal it's receiving from some of the other lights, a battery meter, and you know, if I want to even get into the addressing and the menuing, the modes, and you know, even static colors, I can see it's sky blue color or a sunset color, or use one of the color temperature presets for like 3200K or 5600K whites. So
you're telling me I don't have to bring my decoder ring when I want to set up all my Freedom Pars?
No, there's a ton of new added features in the menuing and dimming curves and a few other things that, you know, kind of amped up and taken Freedom Pars to the next level, it seems like. So
yeah, it just seems like it's a natural progression of the line, you know.
Agreed.
These things too, these are really slick, little diffusers. So you'll notice on all of our new Freedom Pars, we will have them shipped with the diffuser. So if you want that really nice defined column of light, you would use it without the diffuser. If you want that really nice, smooth, even style of light, you can get that going. You can see it. Maybe we should use a different color, but still, you get the picture. I do notice that we have white ones and black ones. So there's 2 different colors?
They're shipped in one color,
Okay.
but this is a sleeve, and it's very easy to take it on, take it off.
Ah, look at that.
Super cool. So like instead of how I used to have to buy a set of black uplights and a set of white uplights, I can just buy, I only buy black uplights now and then can add on the sleeves like separately if I wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
And I noticed this is metal,
Yeah.
right? So super rugged. Can you paint those as well?
you can. Yeah, they're metal, so you can prime it and paint it, no problem.
Chrome
Awesome.
paint, asphalt paint.
Yeah, you
rainbow
match it to
paint.
any decor?
Yeah, that'd be super cool if I owned a venue or something and wanted to paint it to match the wall color.
Yep.
That'd be really, really cool.
Yeah, kind of hide them. How do you control these bad boys, Zev?
So they're DeFi like all the other Freedoms. So that means that you can control it with your console. If you have a console, you use a DeFi hub, which is a little box transmits to these, or a Flare Conair, which is the same kind of box, but Flare Conair has the added ability that you can use our iOS or Android app, the Flare Conair too.
The same one that I had up with my old Pars.
Yeah,
So all that same hardware I can use. My FlareCon, my FlareCon 2, right? My DeFi hub. I already own all that stuff, so I don't have to go out and rebuy it to control these. I can just mix and match.
that's right. Yeah, because all the frequencies are the same. So you would just match that transmitting frequency to these receiving frequencies, and then you're talking to a universe of this. Or if you have two FlareCons or two DeFi hubs, you can set different universes and have more than that. So
Awesome.
quite a few. The other thing is because it's got the DeFi receiver in there, but it's also got a DeFi transmitter in there. So I can make one of these the master too, and have them control all the rest of them. So that's another way to do that.
What if I wanted to control them with the IR remote from the
Yeah.
other ones?
Not the IR remote, you would use the RF remote.
Oh,
So
we changed it to RF.
That's right, that's the new one.
Okay.
So you see a lot of the same features on there.
Mm-hmm.
They, you got your auto shows, your sound active, your preset colors. You could do custom color mixes from there.
Okay, so
black
now I
and
could just start scrolling through all my presets and everything. That's kind of slick. And then auto program, of course. Go through different auto programs. Kind of slick, not gonna lie.
Yeah, we so you're talking to that through RF, and then
Okay.
they're all talking to each other through DeFi, which is wireless DMX. So right now we've got them set up so this is the master, and it's telling the rest of what to do. So you don't have to point it at the unit anymore. You can go in the corner and not do no line of sight. That's not needed anymore.
Awesome.
That does one RF channel talking to one par in this case.
Okay.
We could set them all to the same RF channel if we wanted, and they'll all talk to them. Or we could set them to individual RF channels, which is really cool because you might want to do some kind of a theme. Maybe it's an event, and the color themes are blue and green. So you do every other part is blue and green. You would
Gotcha.
just set them up. Okay, this is group 1, this is group 2, and so forth. And then now you'd either have to have 2 remotes on 2 different RF channels, which is fine, or you get this one right here. This is the big brother.
Ooh,
This
what is that?
RFC XL.
Okay.
So it's extra RF remote. You got your 4 zones at the top right there, and I could just right now I've got them all on, but I could group them. I could say there's 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4,
And then have individual control with just that one controller.
That's right. Yeah,
That's huge.
yeah. I've got some just auto shows and presets that I can go through here. If I do color, there's a ton. Because it's hex, RGBA.
You get a
white,
ton of
UV,
colors
So
in
many
there.
colors to choose from right there.
Oh, because it's hex too, then that means I also get color temperatures as well, right?
You do, yeah. So here's some of the variable whites. I don't know how they render on camera, but you have everything from 3,000 Kelvin to 6,000 Kelvin and notches in between.
Very cool.
Super cool. These are awesome. So I'm here, and I can use my console to control these with a DeFi hub. I can use a mobile app with the Flare Conair 2. I can use the RFC remote. I can use an RFC XL remote. I could adjust the primary unit, the master unit on the menu, and it could speak out to the other. There seems like a ton of cool control options.
I was going to say, so it's really kind of anything that you run into, you're going to be able to control these things no matter what you have.
And because they use the same, technology as the older versions of Freedom Pars, we can still mix and match them in a rig, and they have the same DMX mappings. And so it's really, I'm not losing out on investments that I might already have. I'm just can add on and enhance what I already own too. So that's super cool. I love that.
Super slick. I do want to show the case to everybody too, but you had one more thing on the controller?
So the other thing on it too, which is unique to these new Freedom Par series, is you've got auto programs. All of our lights have auto programs.
I know, and I hated in the old ones I couldn't change the colors or anything like that, you know, too easily on the fly. But
so this one, you've got some presets you can make your own on there. So you, instead of just using the ones on there, there's 4 or 5 that you can use, but then there's another 5 that you can put your own on.
So I would utilize the auto program, but I'm able to customize the colors within that auto program.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so here's like one of the auto programs. It's just, you know,
it'll default to red because
that's the first one until you program something in there.
Okay.
But you know, here's like a fading one. There's another one that is just going to go between different colors that are preset. But you can choose your colors. You can use, so if it's a theme, if it's a high school graduation and their colors are, you know, white and orange or whatever, you can just dial that in.
So if we're doing a Laker viewing party, I can make them all purple and gold.
Yeah.
I was imagining the walk-in at a wedding. You can enhance and add a little bit of spice, but still use the theme colors of a wedding too. So
that is kind of
super
slick.
sweet.
Super
Cool.
duper
Well,
slick.
let's show everyone what the case and the X6 or the 6-pack part of this looks like.
So here's the Freedom Flex H9 IP charging case. So as you can tell here, you have a spot for 6 batteries, which are removable. So again, remember how we were talking about, you might want to get 6 extra batteries, because what you could do is you could have your batteries in your fixtures, and then you can have your 6 batteries in here constantly charging while you're actually running your show, so you're never going to run out of batteries. So really nice case, spot for 6 of them. You could throw in, of course, with the actual cover on or off. Without the cover, you close them up, you charge them in the case. Stacks really, really nicely on top of each other, closes up. We even have the wheel cutouts, so you can stack these on top of each other. Kind of thought a lot about it. I really like it.
Yeah, uses I don't know if you can see on camera, but uses a blue power con to plug in and charge, and then you can link out with white power con as well. And then it does have LED indicators on the front, so that, you know, if my case is closed, or, you know, we generally recommend leaving the case lid open when charging, just so there's tons of airflow. It's not good for battery fumes to build up inside of a closed area. But LED indicators, so that I can know from the outside if all my batteries are charged up, which is pretty neat too, and the ability to link if your cases are stacked and all that good stuff. So
yeah. It'll tell you it just turns green when it's charged, and definitely I second you on the leave the lid open. It's the best practice you can get. Is leave the lid open while you're charging. Once it's charged, seal them up, and you're good to go to your event.
Super small, compact. I love how small this is, but how much stuff is packed right into it. So
Yeah,
really,
it's a
really
powerful little package, that's for sure. Well, of course, we appreciate you guys checking in on all of the videos. Make sure to check. We have quite a few of them on the whole Freedom line, the brand new Freedom Pars that came out. Freedom Par T6, Freedom Par Q9, Freedom Par H9 IP, Freedom Flex H9 IP, the Charge 8P case, the 4-packs, the single individuals, the sleeves. We got a whole bunch of stuff, so make sure you check in and take a look at them.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you guys watching.
Thank you, thank you. And if you're interested in buying or want more information on any Chauvet DJ products, feel free to reach out to us here at Gear Tech. We'd be happy to help. And
want to say thanks to Zev for coming in today, right? Shooting some videos with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. See you, everyone.
Take care.